Baie welkom by nog 'n episode van Namibië sonder grense. My naam is Kristien Kruger en ek keer vandag saam met julle in Swede. Modesta het so wat 23 jaar gelede Namibië verlaat en sy gaan vir ons 'n bietjie meer vertel van hoe moeilik dit was om met haar 2 kleindogtertjies aan te pas. Daarna gesels ons ook met een van haar dogters, Pandu, wat nou in Portugal woon. Sy vertel hoe dit was om in Swede groot te word en hoe sy steeds haar Namibiese Oshiwambo kultuur koester. Daarna gesels ons met 'n bekende gesig hier op Namibië sonder grense, Tonya Rauwerda, wat verlede jaar in Washington hier in die VSA au pair het en nou terug is in Namibië. Sy gaan vertel wat is nuut in haar lewe sedert ons laaste kuiertjie. Bly dan ingeskakel want aan die einde van vandag se episode deel ek 'n paar reiswenke oor hoe om jou handbagasie te pak, waarom alles in die vliegtuig te sit en hoe om so vinnig en pynloos as moontlik deur die lughawe se sekuriteit te kom.
We spare no effort to offer you the ultimate in travel, for business or leisure. Because travel is deeply personal and emotional. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then the experience is priceless. We want you to dream, basking in the sheer joy and contentment of every moment, to connect on every level to make every trip count. Let us create moments that will linger, because experience is not a destination, it is how you feel. Trip travel, dream, connect, create, experience.
Hallo julle, ons is vanaand by die American Airlines Center, soos julle daar agter kan sien. Ons kyk 'n basketball game, die Dallas Mavericks teen die Golden State Warriors. Modesta woon al meer as 17 jaar in Swede. Sy het Namibië in 1999 verlaat, waarna sy eers vir 4 jaar in Mosambiek gewoon het. Sy het ten tye 2 jong dogtertjies gehad, waarvan een 2 jaar en die ander slegs 4 maande oud was. In 2005 is haar jongste dogter in Swede gebore. Sy besoek Namibië steeds elke jaar.
I come from Pandu, in 13 kilometers north of Oshakati. That is where I was born. I moved to Sweden in 1999, and because my husband is whom I met in Namibia, he's Swedish. He's from Sweden. Oh, it was tough. I arrived here in December. It was dark. I didn't know the language. I didn't know anyone, and with the small children, it was not easy. You can't hardly meet anyone in the darkness, and I didn't know anyone here. The culture, it's very beautiful. What I like is that Swedish people, they take respect very serious, and they respect everybody, from a child, from an animal, from environment, from anything. It's about respect of other people. Oh, Sweden is very interesting. The food, it's just like other European food. Sausages, potatoes. They eat quite a lot of potatoes and meatballs. The weather is I love summers, and I love the autumn. But the winter, it's beautiful when it is snow. But if there's no snow, it's quite boring, because you can't do anything. You will be locked inside. But when you have snow, you are attracted to go outside. It's so beautiful outside. Oh, I miss the sun. I miss the social life. I miss my family. Not the heat. I miss the mountains. I miss the high up Venduk. You go and you have a view. Sweden is quite flat. You don't see anything. But they have very beautiful forests. That I can promise you, which we don't have in Namibia. What I like in Sweden is really this free, that you go to the forest, you walk, you don't need to worry that there will be somebody coming mugging you or rob you or anything. You are just yourself. That's what I like about Sweden.
Can you say some Swedish words for us?
Kram, snö.
What is that?
Hug, snow.
What's your favorite Swedish word?
Lagom.
Why?
Because that means everything should just be in between. No extreme, no... Yeah, it's a typical Swedish word which I really like. This is what they call hug snow. Hug snow. We have walked here, starting from there all the way to that side, those houses that side, when people were skating. The sea is frozen completely. But in summer, we swim here. It's perfect.
Hi, my name is Pandu, and I'm a Namibian-born girl, but Swedish race. But right now I'm located in Lisbon, in Portugal. And I'm gonna speak about my experience in growing up in Sweden. And my experience in growing in Sweden was quite good, but still has some bad parts. Because the good parts is because I went to a Swedish school before I moved to Sweden when I was 6. I lived in Mozambique, Maputo, and went to Swedish school. So I spoke the language when we arrived. And a very big contrast for me was moving to an environment where I was the only Black person in a majority middle class white society, basically a community, so to say. And that was quite hard because it was always the difference being as a children, as you do, being like, you look different and stuff like that. So that was quite hard in the beginning. But then when I grew up, I found friends that were similar to me or people having a similar situation to me. Also, my family was a big support because they have experienced the same thing as me. So I grew up comfortable in my position in society in Sweden. But I think the language was the big thing because that's the only thing I think made me walk through it quite well. Because if I struggle with the language, I think my reality would be much harder. Seeing other people struggling with the language, seeing how they're getting treated, it's quite hard to see. But that's the thing that saved me, I would say, speaking Swedish from the start, from getting there basically. And the last time I was in Namibië, it was in December 2019, so just before the pandemic. Me together with my family and then my friend and my sister's boyfriend traveled together there for a holiday. as you usually do in December, European Namibians go to Namibia, celebrate Christmas, New Year's, also it's a big wedding season, so everyone's meeting up and it's very nice. And I haven't been there since because of the pandemic, but I'm hoping to go very, very soon. And I'm still a Namibian citizen because I'm born there, but I haven't renewed my passport because I've not been able to do it, some legal issues I've had. But now I'm possible to do it because I'm over 18. But then I've had the struggle with the pandemic, so everything is postponed. So I'm hoping to do it when I'm back in Sweden and I can do it at the embassy, or I'll do it in Namibia when I'm there after the pandemic, hopefully. And about the culture, I would say I've adopted both cultures because my full Swedish, like for instance school, I've only gone to Swedish school, so I've adopted that type of culture and behavior and mannerisms. But I still have a lot of Namibian blood in me, being like, for instance, with food, with music, I would say. I listen to a lot of Namibian music, love Lioness, for instance, and I love Gaza and all those people. So I listen to a lot of Namibian music, but also I think it's a small piece of me being when I'm raised in raised in Sweden and raised in Europe, that I have to get to know my culture through music, food, reading, movies and other types of cultural stuff, and that keeps my Namibian culture living on. And then it's also because I have a Namibian mom, I still have a lot of it close to me in my heart. And my mom speaks a lot about Namibia. I think she speaks about it generally, a small piece of it every day, in her movements or how she acts, or when she sometimes speaks Oshivambo with my grandmother or my aunts and my uncle, but also because we have a quite close Namibian community, so that even brings everything more up for all of us children, especially second generation Namibians. So the culture is still going down to us. Even though I don't speak Oshivambo fluently at all, I still feel as Namibian as I could be, and also feel that I'm a Namibian. Like, that's my identity as well. I'm as much Swedish as I am Namibian in some parts, but in some parts I feel more Swedish when I'm in Namibia and more Namibian when I'm in Sweden. And that, I would say, the biggest difference for me if I was raised in Namibia is definitely I will know the language and be much closer to my family there, because I only see them every couple of years. But then also I think I will be more involved in other type of issues there, because sometimes I feel like I have a distance because I'm the European raised one, not raised there, so I can't get that involved in it. But otherwise I feel Namibian. Every time I am there, I feel like I blend in quite well. Like, every time people hear my name Pandu and sees me, they speak Oshivambo, but then unfortunately they can't answer all the time. But I feel happy that I'm acknowledged as a Namibian. That sometimes in Sweden is not the same case, that they speak English towards me, but then I respond in Swedish, and then it's culture shock in that sense for them. But I think it's perks and bad and good sides of both sides, I would say. And that's my experience of speaking about Namibia. I'm Pandu Reed, Swedish Namibian, Swedish Namibian, but based in Lisbon.
Hallo julle, ek is Tonya Rauwerda en ek is uitwindend Namibië. 'n jaar terug hierdie tyd was ek in Amerika in Washington DC op die grootste avontuur van my lewe om te gaan au pair. Dit was die beste ding wat ek ooit in my lewe kon gedoen het. Nie net het ek baie van myself geleer nie, maar het ek baie oor ander mense en ander kulture geleer. Elke dag was nie maklik geweest nie. Ek het my huis gemis, ek het my familie gemis, ek het die pos gemis. Daar's so baie wat ek gemis het, maar ek sal dit vir niks bereik nie. vra of my is jy spyt jy terugkom. Nooit is ek spyt dat ek teruggekom het nie. Ek mis nou en dan wat ek daar gehad het, my vriendinne, my familie, maar wat ek hier het is soveel meer. Ek het so baie geleer en ek kan vir enige jong meisie of enige meisie wat nog tyd het of kans op haar hande het om so te vat, te sê, pak het aan, gaan oor see, gaan op keer, gaan doen iets anders, kom uit jou comfort zone uit. Want dit was 'n groot deel van my lewe om alles agter te los. My vriende, my familie, alles wat ek hier opgebou het ek gelos om 'n nuwe lewe te gaan begin. Ek is nie eendag spyt dat ek teruggekom het nie. Ek is tans by Pikkie Paradys, 'n kleuterskool waar ek aangaan om 'n juffrou te wees. Kinders was nog altyd my passie, maar skool gee is my grootste passie. Ek is so lief vir kinders en om 'n verskil te maak. En dit wat ek daar kan geleer het, kan ek om toepas op die kinders wat ek hier leer. En dit is so lekker om terug te wees in my land waar ek kan braai, waar jy die sonsak sien, waar jy berge, die natuur. En ek sal dit vir niks verruil nie. So wat ek vandag vir julle kan sê, wat my video kyk is, wie ook al so iets wil aanpak is, gaan daarvoor, moenie bang wees nie en geniet elke oomblik.
Handbagasie. Wat los jy, wat vat jy en waar pak jy wat? Hoe groot, hoe swaar en wat haal jy uit by sekuriteit? Die volgende paar wenke gaan jou help om 'n beter idee te kry van hoe jy jou handbagasie moet pak en hoe jy dit beter kan benut. Jy mag gewoonlik een klein koffer en 'n handsak of rugsak as handbagasie saamneem. Meeste lugrederye sê jou koffertjie mag nie meer as 7 kg of so weeg nie, maar in al my reise was my handbagasie nog nooit geweeg nie. So ek pak hom gewoonlik so swaar as moontlik. Wanneer ek op 'n vliegtuig klim en ek weet dit gaan sommer 'n lekker lang vlug wees, dan bære ek my koffer bo in die vliegtuig en hou my handsak by my. As ons opstyg en land, dan bære ek my handsak onder die sitplek voor my, maar hou in gedagte dat indien jy in die voorste ry sit of by 'n nooduitgang, jy nie dit sal kan doen nie en dat jy jou handsak saam met jou koffer saam moet stoor. In my handsak het ek alles wat belangrik is en wat ek tydens die vlug gaan nodig kry, soos my boarding pass en paspoort, my selfoon, 'n selfoonlaaier of indien jy het, 'n powerbank en dan natuurlik enige iets wat jy nodig het om lekker te slaap. Met alles wat ek gaan nodig kry in my handsak, is dit glad nie nodig om verby iemand te skuif en te sukkel om jou koffer van bo af te haal en dan daarin te krap dit wat jy gaan nodig kry nie. Ek hou my koffer bo in tydens die vlug en daarin bære ek 'n ekstra stel klere, 'n paar plakkies, 'n tandeborsel, haarborsel, gesigwasgoed en enige ietsie wat ek as ons klaar geland het, dalk gaan nodig kry. Onthou om alles wat jy by sekuriteit moet uithaal, bo in jou handbagasie te pak. Jou vloeistowwe mag nie meer as 100 mm wees nie. Ek plaas gewoonlik my vloeistowwe in 'n plastiek ziplock sakkie en haal dit sommer uit my sak en in die houer saam met my elektroniese toestelle wanneer ek deur sekuriteit gaan. Wanneer jy klaar deur sekuriteit is, sal ek aanbeveel dat jy nie daar jou goed probeer terugpak nie, maar eerder al jou goedjies bymekaar kry en 'n entjie aanstap. Meeste lughawens het tafels en of stoele waar jy rustig jou goed kan terugpak. Dit is al vir vandag se reiswenke en ek hoop dat julle iets hiervan in julle volgende reis kan benut. En dit is dit vir vandag se episode. Ons hoop dat julle dit vreeslik geniet het. As julle wil deel word van ons gemeenskap of weet van 'n Namibiër wat in die buiteland woon, stuur gerus vir my e-pos na kristien@republikein.com.na. Ek sien julle almal weer volgende week.